the average man, I believe. The average real man does not need to go get therapy for the battles and the burdens he's carrying inside. What he needs is for those that he's carrying them for to recognize that they're there and to respect it and to be grateful for it. They don't need therapy. They need the gratitude. Let's take away vulnerability, okay? Because a lot of times men won't open up. They won't respond because it's looked at as becoming vulnerable. If I'm sitting here and if I'm one of these guys and my significant other is sitting there, I can communicate to her what I need to communicate without being vulnerable. I can maintain my strength and communicate to her. I can say, look, I'm working 60 hours a week and the environment that I'm working in is very, very difficult. And I come home and I only have 8 hours here at the house. And this is the only place of peace I have in this entire world. And when I come home, you're angry all the time. You're not satisfied about anything. You know, whatever the situation is. If you're not going to provide for me that little bit of peace, that this is the only place I can get, what are we doing? Young men these days were never taught by another man how to treat a lady like a lady. And they go into a relationship, girlfriends, marriages, getting all that information from Hollywood. And it's a crash and burn because they don't understand relationships. They don't understand communication. They don't understand the balance between being a man and being a boor, being a buffoon. How does he find that balance that fits him? I've heard you say that a good man is born to serve, not born to make money. Absolutely. What's that mean to you? If I'm pour all my life into making money, that's for me. But if I pour my life into as many people as is fitting, their life is better for me having come through. What means the most to me is that when you leave here today, in some small way, your life is better for us having sat down and talked. I'm really bothered by these guys who are financial gurus who will fire you if you don't have a six-pack. There's a problem. There's the main thing. Stay in the main thing. Problem with that viewpoint on life. I want to see men that I want to see them find balance. I don't want to see them find money. I don't want to see them find six. If that is part of the result of it, fine. Okay. But I want them to find balance. And I want them to find that place inside where they're like, my main thing is my main thing. And it's enough. I think a real man is born to serve. And serve means provide for those that are in your sphere of view to provide for. It means to protect. It means to encourage. It means to teach and to train. And sometimes it means to step back and let them hit the wall. Sometimes the best service you can do for somebody is to, when it's all done, walk up and look down and say, did that hurt? You know, that's what they needed. But we won't do that because it makes us look bad. And even in our service to others, we do it for ulterior motives, you know. But yes, I believe that very strongly. I believe if you spend your whole life to yourself for yourself, you have no purpose of being here. This planet is not in any way better for you having been here. Is that what a good man is to you? That's what a good man is to me. What do you think about the balance when it comes from men between strength and softness? You know, I'm still old enough, and I'm of the school. It's like, just deal with it. Suck it up. Suck it up. I broke 3 ribs one time in a barn saddling horses. Horse threw a fit, took 8 aspirin, and got on that horse and did a 4-hour ride because I had a job to do. It's my job. Let's go back to balance. Okay, I was about to mention that I understand. I'm with you 100%. But at the same time, your balance and my balance and his balance are different. And so I think a man has to find his own balance. I think it could be taken to the point that men just become weak. And brother, let me tell you, in this day and age, we don't need more weak men. I think checking in with yourself and not treating your first response is always the correct one. I think the immediate sort of reflex that we often have, especially as young men, and men is an issue because you haven't accumulated enough experience for you to be able to call it gut instinct wisdom. Don't believe everything you think. Yeah. Can we boil it down to a bouillabaisse and say, look, when you have the thought, don't trust the thought, I need to do this or I need to do that? What if we start asking ourselves why? Why do I need to run 300 miles with 2 broken legs? Because David Goggin said so. You know, why do I need to do that? What is the purpose? Not why for me, but why do I need to do that to make myself the man I need to be for those around me? Why do I need to say, You know what I need to spend more time in the backyard with a cigar? Why do I need to do that? And if the answer is because I'm becoming overwhelmed, overtight, losing my balance, losing my focus on what really matters in life, I'm becoming hard to live with to those that I care the most about, to those who I am the most responsible for. So the why is this will make me a better person for those around me. How have you learned to have a better relationship with yourself? The voice inside of your head to be kinder if things go badly. You're smiling. I like me. I like me. I would buy me a drink. I look at me now and I see all the warts. Okay? I see all the negatives. More than anybody else does. I see the positives and over the whole balance of stuff. I like me and I can give myself the same grace. If you and I were friends, I can give myself the same grace I can give you because I like me. I like me in spite of my understanding and the reality of my weaknesses and my warts and my scars and everything. But, all in all, I'm a pretty good dude. And man, you got to get to that point outside of arrogance. Arrogance is pride mixed with ignorance. All right? That's the definition of arrogance. Not talking arrogance. I'm talking about, look, as a human being, I've failed at this. I've succeeded at that. I've wrecked this, but I've built that. And all in all, I've tried, and but I like me. So I'm going to give me some grace. And it's as simple as that. I would buy me a cigar. I wonder how many men can say that. Not as many as should. There are guys out there that don't have someone like that in their life. Someone who's going to be that person that makes them feel good about themselves. But if we become the person that we like, I have come to the place in my life where when I meet somebody and they don't like me and you can tell I don't care. And when I meet somebody that they're like, they really like me. It's like, okay. But it doesn't carry much weight either because I'm going to be leaving. Music, I'm going to be leaving. We're not staying. I like me and it's enough. Arrogance is pride mixed with ignorance. All right? That's the definition of arrogance. I'm not talking arrogance. I'm talking about, look, as a human being, I've failed at this. I've succeeded at that. I've wrecked this, but I've built that. And all in all, I've tried. But I like me, so I'm going to give me some grace. And I wonder how many people can say that. How many people say, I like me? They would give more grace, more care, more attention, more love to somebody else than themselves. There's a statistic around, I think on average, the likelihood that you are going to complete a course of antibiotics yourself is about 50%, right? The likelihood of your dog completing it is 95%.
Yes.
Yeah, we're literally capable of caring for a pet nearly double as well as we can for ourselves.